Hey y'all, it's controversial Courtney here with another episode of Spilling the Beans. And I will try to make this a regular thing. You may not like my opinion, but try to be at least comical. So, let's dive right into it. Today is July 16th. This is Swain County, North Carolina. A little bit about myself. I have called attention to a lot of things and been pretty vocal about those things. And then I went quiet for a while because I wanted, first of all, to let that stew, see what fell out, give y'all time to think about, maybe contemplate a little bit. Maybe there's some validity in what Courtney has to say. And also, I got a little discouraged, to be quite honest, because I've learned some things about these little politics and the school boards and the county boards and even the town board. NDAs. Y'all know what NDA is? Non-disclosure agreement. And so, those are legal documents that do not allow you to voice your opinion, take a stance on anything publicly, hence a lot of the anonymous. They're not legally allowed to say anything. It's not just a fear, or it's definitely not being cowardly. There are a lot of good people that want to speak out against things that are going on. There are a lot of good folks that want their voice heard. They just can't because of these NDAs. And I'll go one further and let y'all know this too. They can't tell you that they can't tell you because they have an NDA. That's part of the NDA. Don't tell them you have an NDA. So let's let the anonymous have their voice, okay? That's what that little platform is for. Yeah. Guys, the corruption, it's time. It is time for some change. When I said last night, very boldly, that there are a lot of outsiders, because everybody has put labels on everything, which is part of the problem. Let's stop doing that. That want to see some change in this county. And we don't need some of these bad seeds sitting up there telling the garden how to grow. Does that make sense? I'm going to use a good analogy. We have the native plants. We have transplants. Y'all know what transplants do? They cannot grow in two places. They can't have roots in two places. They've moved their roots. Now they over here with our native plants. See how that works? We all in this garden. And, you know how kudzu just kind of like, it starts out, it's a little bit innocuous, but then it just grows and grows. And then all of a sudden everybody's going, holy shit, look at how that kudzu just did away with that whole mountainside. We kind of there with the government. It's time to dig up some of these roots and get rid of some of the badness out of our little garden. So, Mr. Jenkins, I know you sat there and pointed your finger at me. I told you I didn't appreciate that. I really don't. That's rude. So I'm going to go ahead and call attention to the fact that you got a raise and you voted yourself that raise. I mean, just my own personal opinion, y'all. That don't seem like that's really okay, does it? Maybe we need to start paying attention to that. Hey, to all of you outsider transplants, I am more than willing to work with y'all and hear your voice. I would like to be able to see some change in this county as a native, local plant. I've been watching this grow. And, when I was younger and wilder, I didn't care. I was too distracted by the wicked ways of the world, which, come to find out, that actually did me a lot of favors, because I'm not scared of the dark. I'm not scared of my own truth. The only way we're going to change things is to change things. And so there's that. That's a little bit of spilling the beans. Are we aggravated yet about having to pay retirement for the sheriff, former sheriff? We aggravated about that? Because I am. I am on behalf of all the taxpaying citizens that have had problems with the sheriff, that have tried to call attention to problems with him, for all the folks that wanted to run for sheriff in the past that haven't been able to. I'm a little aggravated on their behalf that we're going to be taxed that amount. Oh, and he got a raise, right? His retirement of it's going to be based off of that raise. Y'all tired of it yet? School teachers. School teachers in the state of North Carolina have to sign an NDA in order to teach your child their ABCs. They can't tell you that they had to sign an NDA to get that job. They'll lose their credentials with the state. Why did they work that hard just to have to lose it? Nobody goes into it knowing that. I do not believe, because when I first learned about it was the first time I had ever heard about it. And it was like pulling hen's teeth to get somebody to validate that, okay? It's validated. That's true. State legislation. NDA to teach your kids. They can't tell you about the problems. They can't tell you about the administration problems, the corruption inside the school. They can't. School board members, hey guys, they didn't know what they were voting on when they voted on that academy. Sure didn't. They weren't given any kind of handbook, guidelines, outline, nothing. They were told that it would bring funding to Swain County schools if they voted yes. That's what they were told. And several of them that wouldn't have voted the way they did, obviously, if they'd have known the full details. So I don't know if that's an apology or not, because we still need to be vigilant. And I realize now about the NDAs. Nobody knows that. So it's time for us to bring some light to that too. They can't tell us the truth, because the system has them wrapped up in legalities to protect the system. And a lot of good people go into that unknowing. So, get your dish towel, clean up your beans. We'll talk more later. Y'all have a good one. And, oh yeah, drink your coffee. It's so healthy.